Well, progress report. I'm sorry about the wind. This is about the least windy day that we're gonna have in the next week or so, so I'll try to protect the camera here. So they started working on this. Today is Saturday, April 4th, and they realistically started working on this on they got here on Tuesday, March 31st in the afternoon and got everything kind of sorted out. And then realistically they worked Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday they were only able to work about probably about 6 hours or so, and then we had an ice storm come through, and then they worked Friday. They basically got all of the supports up, pilings up, whatever you want to call them, got all those up, and then today they put the trusses up before they knocked off about, I don't know, about 3 o'clock or so. I haven't talked to him yet, mostly because I've been extremely busy doing some of my stuff, so I have not actually talked to the guys building it. But to answer a couple questions, and I think I've answered some of these in the comments. Concrete floor, yes, it will have a concrete floor in it. I think I mentioned that in the last video. It'll be a 4-inch concrete floor, and it will be probably 4,000 psi concrete. The height of the floor is going to be the height of this door right here. So ultimately the building overall is going to be, the floor will be above grade. So all we'll have to do when we get done with this is we will actually have to come in and bring some dirt in here, and probably have to make a little swale out that way. We'll have to kick some of that dirt back in the back there and bring it forward, and I may have to do a voiceover of this depending on how bad the wind is. But and then on this side we've already got the dirt up against the building. You can see there, we've already got the dirt up there. We just have to more or less grade it out. So basically the floor, I mean, we still got to bring a good bit of fill in here to get the floor up to where it should be. But that's the overall concrete design. Layout wise, probably how it'll be, or theoretically how it'll be. Obviously there will be a ramp coming out here to this concrete. I think we've got it spaced far enough away from this concrete right here that we shouldn't need to cut any of this out to make our ramp good going into the building. And I'm not too concerned about it because it won't be a high traffic building. And then in the building itself, I'm gonna get my boots all muddy, not a big deal, but so in the building itself, probably put a workbench right here, one of the workbenches out of the shop. And then my initial plan is over the next year and a half or so, as I get the money, is we're actually going to put pallet racking. And this building does have 14-foot sidewalls in it, so I do have quite a bit of clearance in here. So they've got yeah, they're 14-foot sidewalls, so which is good. I've got 12-foot doors, 12 by 14 doors. So lots of room, not a problem there. But I'll start on this side with pallet racking, and then this side will eventually be pallet racking. In the back corner, here, it's probably going to be to start off with, it'll just be pallet storage. But what I'm going to do eventually is this is going to be, I would like to do like a mezzanine thing right here for small parts, you know, that I'm not using at the time and things like that. So that'll eventually go right here. And I mean, that's a couple years away. We will run, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead when it's right after it's finished and it's still mostly empty. I'm going to go ahead and run I think I've got a little bit of money left in the budget to run at least the lights in it. And I'll just put a plug for a generator. Basically, I run a panel and then just put a generator plug into it. And that way, if I need lights out here one afternoon or one evening or something like that, and the power will probably come in over here. I thought about running it up to that door up there, so it's right there by the door. But ultimately, it'll be cheaper if I have the power to this corner. So it might be somewhere in this area right here. I'll put the power in, and we'll kind of run it that way. Like I said, I mean, this is a nice simple little building. It's not complicated. I was more looking for square footage over more looking for square footage than amenities, I'll put it that way. And mostly because, I mean, I just need area under roof. That's what I was really looking for. So I think that's about it for this update. Hopefully they'll finish it next week, at least get the tin on and everything, and then from there we can start working on getting the concrete done. Granted, I don't know exactly when. I don't even know if the concrete plants around here are running yet, or when they might be running, so it might be a while before we actually do the concrete. So we'll see. But anyway, that's a building update. Pretty simple little building. Well, not little. For my purchases, it's actually pretty big. But that's what it looks like. I'm excited to have it done. I think it'll serve my purpose well, so do everything that I want it to do. Really quick, I got to thinking about something that I mentioned in the previous video about the next building. One of the reasons that we chose to put that building at the elevation it's at is because it would remain mostly level with the next building that we plan to put right here. I mentioned the next building. Somebody asked me about it in an email, what my plans are for this building. Probably 10 years off, because it's going to be fairly expensive to build. But this is going to be a 60-foot wide by either 80 or 100, up to 120 feet long. It'll probably be closer to 80, and basically this building will replace the current shop. It'll be better insulated. It'll basically, the shop will just become, that building right there will become just something that we use for basically storage and maybe to park my truck and things like that. It won't be used for any type of work. This building, the second building here, will be used to do that. And what we're going to do is we'll probably, we talked about doing it this time, but what we'll most likely do is we'll put a header between two of those supports, and we'll actually run a breeze. We'll connect the two buildings and run a breezeway in there between the two. That way I can come out of one and go into the other, and that other one can act just as part storage. And because there should be 9 feet, I think those pilings are 9 feet apart. There should be 9 feet in there, which I don't necessarily need to drive anything huge through there. You know, I can have the other doors for that, but if I could get like a forklift or something like that between the two buildings, there's gonna be 15 feet between them. If this one, where I'm currently standing, 16 feet wide, there'll be 15 feet in between them. And like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna connect them, but that's a definite possibility. So we will see. You know, pie in the sky stuff at this point, but if you don't have big dreams, you don't get big things. So you got to dream big before you can start dialing it back. I mean, honestly, this building started off with a heated concrete floor and everything else, and I'm not even putting a heated concrete floor in it, which I'm somewhat conflicted on. But at the same time, it's not insulated. It's never designed to be insulated. We may put some spray foam insulation in the roof one day, but not at this time. So thanks for watching.